Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. I love this community because not only has it kept me healthy for the last 17 years, but I get so many great ideas from so many amazing people. So I'm so glad you guys could join us today. One of the things I would love to know is if you guys, I would love to hear in the comments, because we're going to be posting this in different groups. If you have any hacks yourself, any kitchen hacks yourself, any of your favorite tools, right? Because we all love to make things easier. I know if I can make my life easier in the kitchen, then I am happier. So we are going to make this super quick. Everybody's got a few things to share, and I am super excited to see some of them because I have never heard of some of these myself. So let's go ahead and we're going to go to Janie first.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We're all about helping families thrive. And so it's so nice to share different ideas with each other to either get more fruits and vegetables in our diet or not throw away so much food and to conserve. And, how do we go about that? So we're going to be sharing a whole bunch of ideas with you today. So hopefully you can take some new tips home. One thing that we love to do is when we cook like vegetables and stuff in the baking pan, we like to line it with parchment paper. I don't know if you guys do that, but I hate trying to chisel off like baked in potatoes off of my pans or whatever. So for anybody who hasn't tried that, parchment paper is a super nice, easy tip. Another thing that I like to do is when you make hard-boiled eggs, I like to peel them when they're still warm. Now these cool down a little bit, so they're not quite as pretty as they normally are, but and then put them in a jar. So they're all ready to put on your salads. They're just ready to go. And kind of a second tip is we actually recycle some jars. I don't know if this was an olive jar or what, but some of these are just a nice slender shape that doesn't take up a lot of room in your fridge. And it's just a nice handy little hack to, you're going to recycle it anyhow, right? So might as well just reuse it for some things that could be helpful for you. Another thing is, I was talking about this, I love to make smoothies. I don't know if you guys do too. So a lot of times if I get extra bananas or if they're starting to get a little old, I'll just throw a bunch in the freezer. So we're not wasting food. And then when you put them in your smoothie, then they make it more creamy, more like a dessert. It's super delicious for anybody that hasn't tried it. You have to try it. And I was going to show Karen because Karen's never heard of this before. Sometimes you go to open a banana and it's just kind of a pain, like you're like mushing down the top of the banana. So actually my husband showed me that actually monkeys do this, like they knew this, and I guess we picked up on it from them. They open it from what I consider the bottom, and it's just so simple. You just like peel it and you just pull it like straight to, it's just so much simpler to open it from the bottom, which old habits die hard, right? I still usually do it from here, but then if I'm having issues, I do it the simpler way. So that's one little tip that I thought I'd share. One thing that I saw that I don't have fresh berries or fresh cherries, I should say, but to decor like a cherry, or like I've heard it for even strawberries, you can just take a chopstick or a chopstick or a straw, but then if you use like a metal straw, then you've got to dig the stuff out of it. So I just thought I'd try with a chopstick, and you just pop out the seed, or the seed from the center of it like that. Just instead of, I've been eating them like apples all these years and eating around the seed in the center. And now I find this out. So that's a cool little hack that I thought I'd share. And one thing I wanted to share too is to try to get our families to eat a wider variety of fruits and vegetables. I like to make fruit salads, and I found that they eat them better if you put them in like a fancy little parfait dish. So this little fruit salad I made, and to just have set this out on the dinner table, this usually goes first, guys, in my house when I make them like this, make them all pretty. So that's another little hack to try to encourage eating more fruits and vegetables to your kids. Organic peanut butter, like, the really healthy peanut butter that separates with all the oil. My son found this out actually, but if you stir it up really good and then you store it upside down, then that oil actually keeps the peanut butter softer. So it's not so hard to dig in there and stir up like the healthy peanut butter. So I wanted to share that too. Another thing that we do pretty much every day is we make smoothies, which I absolutely love. So as far as our favorite kitchen tools, I love my Ninja because it just blends up our smoothies so easy. We just throw some plant milk in there, usually almond milk, and then like a banana, and then this amazing protein drink that we like to use. And then another little hack is I love, instead of scooping out regular peanut butter and having to like waste a bunch on the sides of the jar, I love this peanut powder. Trader Joe's has it, or some people buy like organic PB8s. But I love this stuff. I'll just put like a huge heaping teaspoon of that stuff in there, and that makes a really easy, tasty smoothie. And another cool tip is to use a pizza cutter to chop up, like these are scallions that I picked off my indoor garden, which I'll show you in a second. But you just use a pizza cutter to chop them up rather than using a knife. So that's kind of fun if you have a bunch of greens, chives, or scallions, anything like that. It's just a fast way to chop them up. And as far as my favorite tools, I already said my Ninja is probably my very favorite, but I love like some of the little things from Pampered Chef, these little corn holders. Like when my kids were little, they never wanted to touch a hot corn on the cob that just came out of the pan. And so these are lifesavers because these don't retain the heat. And so they could still pick up their corn and eat it and not burn their fingers. And this is a handy little strawberry scooper, also from Pampered Chef, that doesn't waste a lot of strawberry. So, but I want to show you one of my very favorite hacks. I'll have to pick up my laptop. A way that we eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, a lot of vegetables really, and not waste much, is this indoor garden that we have. I don't know if you can see this. Can you guys see it or no? Is it coming up? Anybody?
Yes,
It looks
we
like
can see it.
you can see
Yep.
it, but okay, good. All right, so this is an awesome indoor garden. And this one, there's two sizes. There's one with a 3-foot wide base, and there's one with this one, which has a 2-foot wide base. And I can grow 32 plants on this thing year round here in Illinois. I have a larger one with the 3-foot wide base out on my deck, which I've used for years in the summertime. But just last year, I switched and put up this one inside, and it saved us so much money because I'm sure a lot of you have bought like those greens from the store. And then before you know it, they're going bad, or like within a day or two, or your refrigerator's too cold or something. So it's just such a handy way to grow things year round. And it's so easy to plant. These tiny little cells hold all these different plants. This is supposed to be, you can use it actually for microgreens if you wish, like up on top. And then down below is for the larger plants. And it keeps water in the basin, which you only fill up as needed, maybe every week, week and a half, depending upon how many plants are in here. And then the water shoots up by a pump through the center and showers down over the roots. And there's a special nutrient blend solution, which is amazing. It's been created by this amazing grower that makes the plants.
You're helping my life right now.
So anyhow, we love that as a hack too, having our indoor garden. I'm gonna pass it off to, I think, Lydia.
Great, Janie, for all those tips. Thank you. Those are some new ones for me. I haven't seen those. And I'll tell you that fruit salad, you give kids the option, they'll always pick that first. I mean, it's just beautiful. So thanks for joining us today, everybody. I have a couple of my own tips and hacks to share today. And first of all, well, this is kind of a nutrition tip, but if any of you use garlic, now you probably know garlic is really good for cancer prevention. And it actually has a compound that it releases called allicin, but it takes 10 minutes for it to be activated. So if you're going to cook with your garlic, you want to either, smash it, or sometimes I just use a chef's knife and give it a good whack. And if you're going to use it raw, then it's fine. But if you're going to cook with it, make sure you smash that and let it sit for 10 minutes before you actually put it into your fry pan or whatever, so that it releases that compound. And then who doesn't hate having that garlic smell on your hands afterwards? And I'll tell you what, soap and water, never takes care of it. But if you take whatever you used, your garlic tool or your knife, and rub that over your hands, the stainless steel, it's a chemical reaction. The smell will be automatically gone. So that's one tip. Another tip I have is, I like to chop my salads. If you've ever been in a restaurant where you've gotten a chopped salad, they're just easier to eat, so much less work. So I will fill my bowl with lettuce and then add a bunch of different greens like broccoli slaw. It just makes it easier. And then just take now this is actually a salad chopper and there are different varieties available, and just give it a good chop. And it mixes everything together for you. And you can actually, without dressing, store it in different, either salad jars or different Tupperware. And then every day of the week, you could have a chopped salad ready to go. And I tell you what, I have a health condition. It's a neurodegenerative muscle disease. And sometimes a lot of chewing like that can be very fatiguing. So for people that have problems with chewing, a chopped salad's great. And my last tip today is freezing avocados. Doesn't it seem like they all get ripe at the same time? Well, what I do is I'll just cut them in half and take a spoon and scoop them out, and I lay them on like a cookie sheet in the halves, and then stick them in the freezer. And then once they're frozen, you can put them in a Ziploc baggie like this, and they're halves. And then you just take them out as needed. They don't turn brown, they don't go bad. And those are my kitchen hacks for today. Let me see if there's anything else I was supposed to mention. No. Now we're going to go over to Karen. Thanks for joining.
Okay, so this is why I do these events, because I've never seen that banana thing, and I can't believe I'm 52 and I've been opening them wrong my whole life. And then Lydia, I was digging in my drawer because, can I tell you, I have one of these. I got this because I went to one of those parties, right? And they're like, "Oh, you've got this much stuff." And I don't think I've ever used it. I didn't know that you chop lettuce with it. So I'm so glad that I know what to do with that now. Love these. Okay, so I have a few hacks. I have a garlic press, so I'm glad she said the garlic press, because I love garlic, and garlic is, great for anti-cancer and so many other things, but I love the garlic press instead of chopping. I'm not a chopping person. One of my other hacks is, we make complete balls with the smoothie powder that Janie was talking about. And they call for peanut butter, it calls for honey, it calls for some sticky stuff. So one of the things you can do when you're using any kind of sticky stuff is actually spray down the measuring cup, and then it comes out a lot easier, which is awesome, because usually I'm like, scrubbing that stuff. Now I shop at Costco, so don't make fun of me. So this enormous thing of brown sugar, I had learned a long time ago, I don't know if you can see them, but there's marshmallows in there. And that keeps the brown sugar soft, because, we're not using that huge bag of sugar that quickly. And so over time, right, it gets hard. Haven't you ever gotten it? It gets hard and you're trying to break it up a little bit. So clearly, if you have a smaller normal size bag of brown sugar from the grocery store, you can use some mini marshmallows, or just, put one in there. Let's see, what's one of my other hacks? So one of my other hacks is, I left it in the fridge, but I buy the big things. Again, I shop at Costco. I buy the big plastic things of, spring mix and spinach and everything. So because I do a lot of smoothies also, I will take it directly from the plastic when I get home, because if you guys have had those, within a couple of days, you can see the stuff touching the plastic that gets slimy. So what I do is I recycle jars as well. I will try and take about half of it and shove it in a large jar, so we can save that and use that over the next couple of days for salads. And then I will also put some, I don't have the example, but I will put some in a Ziploc bag and then freeze it. And now it doesn't go bad, right? It's fresh forever until I use it. Now I just get to, put my hand in there and put a handful or two in my smoothies when I want those. So the way I found out about stuff staying good in jars, and if any of you are friends with us that are in our community, in our Juice Plus community, then you know about salad in a jar. So that's how these little babies stay fresh for so long. I mean, they stay fresh for a week. You could never put this in a Tupperware and have that stay fresh for a week. I have two more hacks. So one that, right, like, I try to be healthy, but it's not consistent all the time. One of the things I want to try and do every day, and I just don't, is lemon water. So again, I would buy the thing with like 30 lemons from Costco, and I would be really good for about the first week. And then all of a sudden I see the lemons going moldy. And I thought, gosh, I hate wasting this food. So I now, when I get them home, will actually take just 15 minutes, slice them in half. I didn't bring this out. If you guys don't have this for squeezing juices, like squeezing lemon or, lime juices, this is amazing. Love this. So I will actually squeeze the juice into ice cube trays. And then what it gives me is it gives me the right proportion of lemon in an ice cube tray. I keep it in the freezer. And then when I want it, I can just drop it into water and it's done. There's no more wasting the lemons. And my last one that I learned from somebody, because I have the Tower Garden and I have parsley and I have cilantro and basil and a lot of those things, is if you do not have, this is actually for stripping herbs. I have an herb stripper, but I saw this and I just thought this was so cool. I don't know if anybody still has like the old fashioned cheese grater, right? But you can put this through one of the holes and then you pull it and then you've got the leaves, which is what you need. So instead of sitting there and like pinching off the part that you need, it simply just gives you the leaves. And then you can use the pizza cutter or your herb scissors or whatever. So I just thought I just love that idea. Okay, so some of my favorite tools, I have this little handy thing. So one of the things the kids like is they like just lettuce in a salad, but I don't know. I would rather have them have some tomato and carrots and other, cucumber and other vegetables in there. And this is a way for me that if it's shredded in there, that they're more likely to eat it if it's not in big pieces. And so for me to cut again is just too much of a waste of my time, quite honestly. So this does it where you just, push it through. It's amazing. I also have, let's see, and that comes with different attachments. So my other favorite, this is new. This is not inexpensive, but if you guys are drinking plant milk, almond milk, cashew milk, oat milk, you can make coconut water, you can make coconut milk, any of those. This is called an almond cow. And the reason I love this is because one of my other favorite tools in the kitchen is my Vitamix. I have had that Vitamix for, I have to think about this, 10 years, and it's still going strong. And I can do nut milk in the Vitamix, but I have to soak the nuts overnight, for 12 hours, the almonds overnight for 12 hours. And then you got to do a nut bag. It's like I'm milking a cow, right? I got to blend it in there and you got to strain it through the nut bag and get this milk. And I just I just wouldn't do it. It just was too time consuming for me. So I have seen this for a little while for people in the community, and this is amazing. I don't have to soak the nuts. I can go get my kid's favorite is a third of a cup of almonds, a third of a cup of cashews, a third of a cup of oats, real oats, not the processed oats that we see. And then I do hot water in there, a little bit of salt, a little bit of vanilla. It grinds it up within like 2 minutes and I have milk. I meant to bring some out to show you guys. And then I store it in a mason jar and it's amazing. So I love that. But one of the things I want to show everybody on here is the hack that we all love. This community, the reason I got into this community is because of this hack. So I don't know about you guys, but as much as I try to eat fruits and vegetables, it does get difficult. So we want to just share with you 2 minutes about Juice Plus. It helps us bridge the gap between what we're eating every single day and what we should be eating every single day. It is fruits, veggies, berries, and we have plant-based omega. And there's research, it's NSF certified. It comes in a capsule, it comes in gummies. So kids love them. And it is whole food nutrition. So that, quite honestly, is my favorite hack because I give it to it's the only way my husband is going to eat broccoli. It's the only way he's going to get kale in him. My kids the same way. My son, as soon as he turned 16, now he's working at a grocery store. I don't even want to tell you the food he comes home with. He literally he bought one of the rolls of cookie dough one time and came home and ate half of that. So I am so grateful for the Juice Plus. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed some of the hacks. I would love to hear, some of the hacks that you guys, the kitchen hacks that you have, your favorite kitchen tools, because I know I'm always looking for easier things for my kitchen. And if anybody has any questions, I think I did see a question in there. It is a Hamilton, what's the name of the veggie shredder? So this is a Hamilton Beach, and I'm pretty sure I just got it from Amazon, and I think it's like $20. I don't think it's very expensive. They have the real bigger ones, but I didn't want to have to store that or anything. Any other questions? Anybody on here have any hacks that they want to share with us? No? Okay, perfect. So we are going to end it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, guys.